Good morning, everybody, and welcome to part 3 of my DW Hobby Astro Junior build. Okay, so here we are again in the shop. When I left off last week, we had the first wing panel half, maybe 70% done or so, and then we got the other wing panel caught up. It's drying right now, getting its final gluing. All I need to do with this other panel is get the wingtip on. We'll do that today. So yeah, it's looking pretty good so far. Here's basically what we're going to be working on today. Concentrating on, might do more. Got the last couple of wing ribs to go in. I got a couple of trailing edge pieces here that have to go in. It's going to go right down here like this. We'll have to cut the rest of these rib tips off. Got the landing gear mounting points to go in. Spar or the Dihedral reinforcement spars, and I have some material here for some shear webbing. So as you might recall, last week I had a question about the shear webbing. The grain on the webbing they have here goes horizontally, and I don't think that's right. We definitely want the grain on the webbing to be vertical. So I have these pieces here. They're actually from the Cub kit that I'm building. They came with the kit pre-cut, just like you see them. They were a little small. They didn't fit in quite as snugly as I wanted to on the Cub, so I cut new ones and put them in, and I saved these for a rainy day. It's not raining today, but we can definitely use them. So I will cut them down to size to fit in between the ribs there, and then vertically as well. So we're going to be doing that. So yeah, let me get these wings off the table here. We'll get the first one we were working on down on here, and we'll get moving along. And I will be right back. Okay, and we are back for a second. Just something I want to show you. I'm working on getting this W2 rib, and then there's a W1 rib that clads to that. But this angle of this rib gives us the maximum dihedral. Remember, there's two options for this kit, one with more, one with less. I really don't know the degrees, angles, but it doesn't really matter. But this is how this piece would go in if I was building it as per the kit. But what we need is a little bit less angle, so we'll need the rib to be more like out there. So what I'm going to do is figure out what that angle is, and then I'll cut a new piece of the shear webbing so that it fits right up against this rib here on both sides to give that support. And after we have that angle, we'll probably have to trim the leading edges a little bit, trailing edge a bit to get, because there's going to be a gap here, but we'll get that adjusted and glued in. So I'm going to go ahead and figure out what that angle is, cut a couple pieces for here, and get that glued in. And I will be right back. Okay, and welcome back, everybody. Got a bit more done. So as I was talking before, I went ahead and added the proper shear webbing, the vertical grain shear webbing. I just wasn't happy with the way this was, the shear webbing that came with the kit. It was horizontal grain, and it just didn't seem right. The new shear webbing I know it'll add a little bit of weight, not a whole lot, but I'd rather have the weight, a little extra weight, than not be positive that the wing was going to stay in one piece. So we did that. And then, let me turn this around here. We started working on this angle. Remember, the angle here, the stock angle, was quite a bit more dihedral than I want. DW Hobby gives you the option. They give you 2 sets of these dihedral braces, one with more of an angle, one with less. I'm going with the less, which means I need a less of an angle here. So basically what I did was I just figured out what that angle was right there, cut it in half, and then use that as a template for my new piece to go right here. And you can see the tops, there's a lot less angle, which is good. So that's the angle that we want. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out this existing piece of shear webbing here. In fact, I never glued it all the way to the end, because I never do that just until I'm sure of what's going on. So I'm going to use this as a template. Where we go? Right here. And I'm going to make that out of a piece of ply. Remove this so that the ply will epoxy right to the spars. And then we'll have our angle set up exactly perfectly. And then I'll need to make a corresponding adjustment up here on the leading and back here on the trailing edges to keep this square there and there. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and find me some material in my supplies, cut that new shear web with the root rib support, and see about getting them glued in. And I'll be right back. Okay, everybody, and we are back. Just want to show you something really cool here. Just checked the mailbox and received an awesome surprise from Joe at Joe's RC Corner. He has a 3D printer, and then I had mentioned that it'd be really nice to have some Merlin V12 exhaust stacks for the Astro Junior, and he printed them right up. No problem. They're very cool, very detailed. I really love the way they look. The only thing I'll probably do is spray some flat black paint on them to get them to look the way I want them to. But yeah, very cool guy, Joe. He's a great YouTuber. He builds planes. He's very skilled at it, and he flies. And really cool guy, and really appreciate getting to know him a little bit. But yeah, thank you very much, Joe. These are just too cool. I'm gonna add just that little bit of touch that I like to add to all my planes. So check out his YouTube channel and his Facebook, Joe's RC Corner. I'm gonna put a link to it in the I guess it's the description section. I'll throw a link on there. Check out his channel. It's really cool. He's got a really nice workshop, and he builds some cool planes, and got a lot of projects coming up. So check him out, Joe's RC Corner, and hit the link and go check him out. Okay, and we're back again. Just looking at this dihedral brace, how it's going to go in here. There's more issues I want to discuss with you guys. The wing roots here, have one more piece, a W1, that clads up against the W2 piece, one for each wing. One here, and then they join together here. But here's the issue I'm having. When I put two of these on, when I put the one on for this wing and the one on for the other wing, the dihedral brace becomes too short and ends right about there. No good. That only gives us 3 ribs with this dihedral brace. So it's a little short. So I don't know if I'm going to have to make another one, or perhaps what I'm thinking about doing is, we don't need 2 of these W1 ribs. They're really not doing anything. Providing a little bit extra support here for the dihedral brace. But if I I'd already test fit this. And if I only use one of the W1 ribs, then we get the length out of this dihedral brace that we need, and it'll actually fit right about there. But if I put the extra piece in, it ends up a little short. So I think I might just leave this rib out, the one rib. It's not going to be critical if I don't have 2 of them, because it will be epoxied on both sides to both wing halves. So I should be okay there. But here's another issue. Again, we're talking about this dihedral brace. And look where it's positioned. It's not positioned up against the spar. If I was designing this kit, this brace would have become a spar doubler, would have been renamed, and I would have been epoxied right up flush with the top and bottom spar. I have no idea why this is like that. But so, technically speaking, this airplane has no spar doubler, because I can't call that a spar doubler. It will give a lot of extra support, and having added the extra shear webbing, that's going to increase the strength of the spar. I'm going to go ahead and build it like this. I'm not going to build another dihedral brace. I'm just going to put this one in as it is and hope for the best. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to be doing. But right now, I think I'm going to be ending this video. We got a lot done. Now, all the work that we saw in the picture montage has been completed on both of them. So technically, we're ready to join the wings. And then I have the other leading edge piece to attach, and of course the sheeting and the ailerons servo mounting points. So basically what we're going to do is, when we come back, I will have the servo tray installed. The servo will be installed. The leads will be run. The sheeting will be done. And the wings will be joined. And then basically it's just sanding and covering. I'll probably set the wing aside and start the fuselage because I've made modifications in this area up here, and I'm actually going to be putting on a little bit thicker piece of leading edge here. It's going to make joining to the fuselage saddle a little different, so we'll have to make some adjustments here. So I don't want to cover the plane until we make any minor adjustments up in here, the way it fits into the wing saddle. So yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and finish this up, and I will be continuing on. It's a little early today, so I'll probably work on the next video doing all the things I just described. So please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share with your friends. That would be greatly appreciated. I love all my subscribers and would like to get some more. So until next time, I hope you have a great weekend, and I will chat with you soon. Bye-bye, everybody.